Hey there, cats and kitties. I'm the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 7 of the anime series, Arslan Senki TV, Fuujin Ranbu. And I was really glad that we finally got to the culmination of this butting heads between Narcissus and Shagod. They've been stringing it along for a few episodes now, and I was just like, when are they going to finally put this guy, to pasture? And they pretty much do, finally, as he basically got all of his pirate faction to try to occupy and take over Gilan, thinking that, Arslan's posse had gone out in chase of this island of treasure. And even though, I was kind of thinking this exact figure of 100 million gold pieces or whatever it was probably not entirely true, I could buy and swallow that maybe these pirates had an island they were stashing their riches off on or something like that. And so I really hadn't had any reason to second guess that, oh, this might all be a fiction, this might all be a lie, but that's what it turned out to be. Shagod just schmoozed, Arslan's entire posse to try to get them to go away. And Narcissus, being ever the calculating mind and strategist, he knew this. He knew this from right out of the gate. This was all BS to get them to be sent packing effectively so that Shagod could come in with his pirate faction and take over the place and, kill Arslan and all this kind of stuff. And there were certain elements of that were predictable. I mean, having the cavalry, if you will, come in, we see that Narcissus didn't believe it. He went and got the Zot clan, which was a pleasant surprise. I was hoping to see more interaction with them since they basically gave their loyalty to Narcissus, being that he is Elfried's, air quotes, husband and all that. That was a pleasant surprise. But I mean, everything like, Daryun coming in and fighting the pirates and everything. I mean, they've been doing this the past few episodes. So there were elements of this that felt recycled and like we've seen this before. Where it really got special, as far as I was concerned, was that Narcissus had asked Arslan and Daryun, all that kind of stuff, to essentially back off. This was an old friend of his. He has a certain level of responsibility he feels toward putting this guy down, putting him away. And we basically see that conclude on a freaking pirate ship, which was excellent. A sword fight between Narcissus and Shagod. Seeing Narcissus taking up arms and holding his own against this guy, it was somewhat unexpected, and it was a much bigger surprise and made this entire affair that much more, I think, it gave it like gravitas, because we don't usually see Narcissus taking up a sword, that kind of thing. He's usually the mastermind behind the affair that gets Arslan's posse together and fighting and everything like that. Like, this was a very personal thing for him, and to see him come out of the shadows, come out of his shell a little bit, his artistic shell, and want to live up to the promise he has made to Arslan and how he truly feels about what Arslan wants to do to break up slavery and all that kind of stuff. This is what was the meatiest, weightiest aspect of this episode, seeing Narcissus going up against Shagod. And I like that Arslan still kind of has a play in it, because he sends, I forgot the name of the bird, but I think Azrael. He sends the bird, and like just at that moment you see Azrael come down and claw this guy right across his face. And I really wasn't sure if Narcissus had all out and out killed him, because we see him cough up blood and he falls to the deck and everything of this ship. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about Narcissus maybe killing the guy. But of course, they did kill him. They decided to punish him in a very befitting way. Arslan is going to make this guy suffer years-length servitude as a slave, which he seems to have no cares or concerns about. He obviously cannot perceive it from that side of things, to be a slave, what that kind of life is like. And I can only hope, as Arslan does, his compassionate nature, to walk over and say, you were once a friend of Narcissus, a man I respect. I can only hope that your intellect allows you to grow a sense of compassion yourself, and so that you can see things from our perspective. See how wrong this is. See how scornful and hateful to your own fellow man this is. And I loved that. I loved that message. Those are the aspects of this series. While there were predictable elements, those are the aspects that attract me to a series like this. And, by the end, of course, you have Étoile coming in and begging Arslan very unexpectedly to come and help in Ecbatana, help in Ascentus, save him effectively. Holy crap. Like, that would be very interesting to have him go and save the Lusitanian king from, people on the inside who are trying to undo his power, effectively, his stronghold, all of that internal, infighting and everything like that. If Arslan were to come along and oh man, that would be very intriguing. I don't know whether or not that's going to happen for the final episode that we have with, Hadamus Silvermask still out there doing whatever he's doing with the dark forces that have been encircling him and empowering him, and Andragoras, in Ascentus, and his own brother coming after him, all this kind of stuff. I mean, there seems to be so much yet to unfold, and it's just a shame that we only got 8 episodes. It's like, what the hell were they thinking? But yeah, I pretty much loved everything to do with Narcissus and Shagod in this episode, and seeing the judgment passed down against him was very befitting, and I can only hope it makes a difference. And time will have to tell. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long before we get a 3rd season, depending on how this all wraps up. And so yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 7 of Arslan Senki TV, Fuujin Ranbu. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, if you agree with me that certain elements were a little bit predictable, and but that the meaty sections, the meaty portions of this episode had to do with Narcissus and Shagod, and seeing Narcissus taking up arms against him, and all that great stuff with the Zot clan. And they've been given an official banner by Arslan by the end, so they are well and truly brothers in arms, and all that great stuff. And so yeah, anything goes in the comments below. Love it or hate it. Just love having that conversation. Otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.